So what I actually did was that, so you CD my project, right? CD into my project, which is initially when you create the project, right? You now
Yeah.
stop when you create the project and maybe you said you should not continue to start the project for you. It will now stop the folder that you created the project, which is maybe you create the project in download now. That's
Mm.
where it will stop. Then you now have to like change the directory to the name of your project. You understand?
Okay.
So that's what you now do, CD my project. CD my project. Then after you have done CD my project, you are now inside the project itself. You understand?
So like this CD my project will be on CMD, the terminal, right?
Yes, that's
After
when
creating. Okay, yes, yes, okay.
CD my project. That's tell you that you want to enter the your project folder, because this
Mm.
this my project now is a folder that you are creating.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get?
Mm.
So after you now enter that your folder now, you will now do code then space dot, which is full stop. It will now
Okay.
open the project for you on VS Code.
Okay.
Yeah. After opening the project for you on VS Code, you can now decide if you want to use Tailwind CSS for your project or you want to use um custom CSS. But me,
Mm.
I'm using Tailwind CSS, so I have to now install Tailwind CSS in my project. Do you understand?
So
Remember, you
like
have
for example now, is it like professional not to use custom CSS, like you can just be using Tailwind CSS for all your projects?
no, it might not be Tailwind CSS for your project too. You can decide to, sometimes there will be a need for you to use custom CSS. But the reason why it's good you learn with Tailwind CSS is that you already have understanding of custom CSS. Now,
Mm.
not every time you'll be writing custom CSS. Custom CSS will waste your time. It will give you headache. You now start debugging, checking where to. But Tailwind CSS, you are writing everything in your HTML. Do you understand?
Mm.
You are
So in what
defining your
in
styling by your own self.
okay, so in what way can we use um that custom CSS, that it should be like a must, you must use it for your
Yeah,
project?
yes. That's where I'm going to now. That's where I'm going to. So for you to now use your Tailwind CSS now, right? You have to now npm install Tailwind CSS at Tailwind CSS Vite. So if you share that video I drop for you, if you share the video I drop for you, right? It's already
Mm.
there. The video is already like the installing of this Tailwind CSS is already there. But what I will just do is that
It's not clear. That's what I was asking. It
it's
wasn't
not
clear
it's not
enough.
it's not clear. It's still the same thing. It's still the same process on installing your project now. What you do, you just copy it. After copying
Mm-hmm.
it, you come to your root your root folder, which is your project, the root folder.
Mm.
Paste it there. Then you click on install. When you click on install now, right? If you check your package.json, you'll see it there. Tailwind Vite version 4.33. I don't find. Na same room now. Na same room too. You dey bedroom. Do you get?
So after this, you just press enter, or
Yeah,
how?
yes. You press enter. When you press enter, it will now show you that it will now like load, which is it's downloading all the dependency you use. So it will now show you that you have successfully installed Tailwind CSS. So after you have installed Tailwind CSS, you now come back to this place. You now say
Mm-hmm.
import Tailwind from Tailwind at Tailwind CSS /vite. What you do is you just copy this phrase only here like this, you copy it. Then you now come to your project, you come to vit.config.js, um
Mm.
config vit.config.js, which is the last file.
Yes.
You now paste it here. Are you seeing it? Me, I already copied and paste it. That
Okay.
last video here, you paste it here. So after you have done that, you still come back here, look at this other part too, the plugins with
Mm.
CSS. Copy this one too, then paste it here. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's then one more thing you have to take note is import tailwind CSS. So add an you will now have to add this at import to your CSS file that import CSS. So another thing you have to do is you have to now copy this again. After copying this one, copy this one. This one now, where you now put it, you put it in your CSS file that connects with your index.html. This is the CSS file that connects with your index.html. Where is this? Okay. That your SRC folder
Mm.
in your index.css. You import it here. You just copy it and
Okay.
paste it here. You
Okay.
understand? Yeah.
Mm.
But just make sure that you comment all this one out or you delete them. These ones they are not necessary. You can delete them, you can leave it. So instead of writing your custom CSS, initially assuming you are not using Tailwind CSS now, you can write all your custom CSS inside this index.html because index.css because it's the one that connected to your app.css.
But Bootstrap? I've been seeing young people using this Bootstrap, tell them to write the custom CSS from scratch.
If you want to use Bootstrap, you can use Bootstrap. Bootstrap is easy now. Tailwind too is easy, but people prefer using Tailwind CSS than Bootstrap. Bootstrap, let me tell you one disadvantage of Bootstrap. You have to you can install it the same way you are installing this CSS, this Tailwind tool, but
Mm.
Bootstrap come in components like for navbar now they have already created the navbar for you component. For a sidebar they have already created the sidebar for you. Now you yourself now you now have to like write your custom CSS again to change it to your own personal style. You understand? That means you are doing two work, but in Tailwind CSS you are the one create like you are the one writing the style that you want. You are the one defining the color, you are the one defining the size, you are the one defining pattern that you need. So let me show you something.
It's just like editing and putting your own now, or you still have to create the custom CSS from scratch since you don't want it
Yes,
on Bootstrap. I
yes,
think it's just like editing it to put the color you want.
I'm coming. Okay. um Now look at it. Advantage. Complete for Tailwind CSS o, complete design flexibility because there are no pre-made components. You are never locked into a specific look. You can design entirely unique user interface that match custom markups perfectly without fighting default styles. No framework look. Website built with Tailwind do not look identical. act like raw CSS but with constraints that help you maintain consistency in spacing, typography and colors.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. No context switching. You write your style directly inside your HTML class attributes. You don't have to keep jumping back and forth between an external style sheet and your HTML file. Seamless
Mm.
JavaScript component integration. Tailwind CSS, Tailwind's case remarkably well with modern component-driven front-end structure like React, Vue.js, Next.js, where UI logic and styling live together. Advantage of Bootstrap. Bootstrap is component-based. You see am,
Mm.
Bootstrap is component-based UI toolkit. It follows a kitchen sink approach, providing ready-made elements like button, navbar, modals, accordions out of the box or etc. So Bootstrap comes with components base, like they have already created everything for you. You now you yourself now you now start styling it by ownself, try to write custom CSS, try to make it look, all those kind of stuff. But thing with CSS, you are writing everything straight up. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. So
So like my question now, because like my question now, since we're talking about Tailwind CSS, sorry that I'm digressing a little bit.
no problem.
Since we're talking about Tailwind CSS and custom CSS now, in what way can we in like what can we be building that we have to use both custom CSS and Tailwind CSS? Because you said you there's a way that you still have to use custom CSS. Like you can't neglect custom CSS just using Tailwind CSS. So like what will actually warrant you using
There
um
was custom CSS.
custom CSS?
Okay. For custom CSS, right, is normally you are writing your CSS from scratch, trying to define classes, put the class or put the class inside your CSS file. But for Tailwind, you are writing everything inside your HTML, right? Now,
Mm,
since you are doing that, since you are writing your CSS inside your HTML, right, or inside your app.js or any file that comes with CSS, right?
mm.
There's no need for you to use Tailwind, unless maybe maybe you are the one that say, oh no, even though I have styled this with Tailwind CSS, I still want to style it with custom CSS, which is another stress for you. You understand? Because you have already styled it with with Tailwind CSS. So what is now the need of using custom CSS? But
So
On Bootstrap, right? Sometimes I
mm,
told you, Bootstrap come with component like there are people who specialize in that. They already created all everything that you need for you. Now, sometimes you even try to manipulate it, try to edit it, it will not work. You still need to use custom CSS to correct some places. Do you understand? So
mm.
instead of passing through that process, that stress, that's why I just decide to choose Tailwind CSS, because I've been using Tailwind CSS for a while now.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I understand your point. So like for example now if I would want to start building like websites and or mobile app, do you understand?
Yes,
I can just decide to just use Tailwind CSS without using custom CSS, right?
yes, yes.
That's what I'm asking. Like, is there any need for me in any way that I will still have to want to use custom CSS?
No.
That's what I was asking.
Alright.
Because I actually like this like Tailwind CSS because you are using your HTML and at the same time you can actually see what you are doing at that same time while styling. It's not like after writing your HTML you have to style before you have to see okay the final result of what you are doing.
Yes.
Because Tailwind CSS, you are as you are writing your code, your HTML, your stuff on HTML,
Mm.
you are styling and you are seeing okay what you are styling, you are seeing okay what you can make, what correction, what thing you can add, what thing you can remove. on Tailwind CSS, especially when I was like doing that login page and all that. I was able to like really manipulate and add some things and just for my own initiative. But for the custom CSS, it was like after you have designed your HTML, that's when you can start styling and before you start debugging, okay, this style, okay, what can we do to it, what can we do to it? But this one, you see that you are working at the same time and seeing what you are doing. So that
Exactly.
was why I was asking, like, in the future, is there any need that it will warrant you to use both CSS, like Tailwind CSS and custom CSS? All
No,
I was asking.
no. You must not. It's not a must for you to use both. You can just
Okay.
decide to like, okay, oh, this is what I want to use, then continue with it. And you can still decide, oh, I want to use both, then you continue with it too. There's no
Okay.
restriction.
Because the one that you created with that e-commerce, it was custom CSS you used.
E-commerce, no, it's not custom CSS. I use Tailwind CSS. Let me show you. These are the pages of the website. Let me see. Pressing it. This is Tailwind CSS. Right. This is Tailwind CSS. This Tailwind CSS. All this one like this are Tailwind CSS. So this one I defined I use variable color for this one. Variable color so that maybe I want to change the style, I want to change the color in every other place that that particular color appears. I'll just go there. I'll just go to that file and change it and it will affect every other page of that color. Every other page that have that the same color. So maybe for example now I set this color to be black, right? And
Mm.
I don't want that black color anymore on on every place that black appears or any place I use this variable color. So what I will just use as for me not to stress myself, I'll just go to where I define the variable color, then change it to any color I want. There's no need of me coming to this place again, changing changing the color myself. You understand? You can see
Mm.
secondary. So this is like stress to me. Do you get? So what I'll just do is I'll just go to there's a place I define my CSS. This is my variable colors. So this is where I define them. I see it. So if I have to make any changes to that secondary color now, I just come here and change the color. It will affect all the pages that particular
Mm.
variable name appears.
So we can actually define the this thing.
The color you want to use.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
So that's it. Any other question?
So like to define the this stuff now like this, you have to just go to your normal index dot css
Yes.
and just put what you need to put, like as it was like that the way we did it for the custom css.
Yes.
Mm, okay.
So now when you watch those videos again, you will now understand better.
Can you just like explain these other buttons again, like come over again? I've watched those other videos though. I've watched the second videos. That was why I was like it was a little bit confusing. I had to message you. I've watched the other videos now.
No, you have to watch it again. Since now you already have the understanding now, then watch those one again, because there are something I have not touched in this space, which is I expected you to like know it. In that second video now, that second video I explained all this. That second video now I've explained what SRC means, what node modus means, what public means, what VIT means, what this one is doing, what this one is doing. All this one like this, I have explained them. So by the time you watch them, that's true. If you not still understand, come back to me, I'll say explain again. I still want you to watch those videos.
So after that, what next?
When you're done watching those videos, let me know, then we'll now start this project. So I want to use this particular project now to teach you React.
Which project?
This one on my screen.
Okay, we'll start something afresh.
Yes.
Okay, I want to also ask, how do start coding when, for example, a product designer brings its design and wants you to do it exactly like that. So how do you go about writing that code?
Ah, this is a very big question. Oh. All right.
Yeah.
So the thing is that uh, I'm not, I'm not, I'm not actually a front end engineer. You understand? I deal more with back end, but I teach front end at my workplace. That's why I have to like, okay, I've done this before. Let me do it. So working with UI UX designer, right?
Mm.
As a front end engineer, you have to like. That's why you need to know all these basics, like all this styling, all this pixel, length, your margin, your padding. You have to like you need to understand them very well, because those people
Mm.
now, those UI UX designer, there's a place in that Figma file that you can see this the size that they use. You can see the color that they use. Do you understand?
Mm.
So based on your front end understanding that you already have, by the time you are looking at that their screen now, you will able to replicate what they have in their screen on your own screen
I'm also
using
doing a
code.
product designing. That's why I am asking how to navigate it. If after doing the design, I would want, because there was something in my mind to do. Like, I want to do like a design
Mm.
that I want to upload on Binance, like an artisan mobile app. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
So after doing it using
Figma.
Figma,
Yes.
after doing using my Figma, my FigJam
Yes.
to bring out user flow and all that, I would want to actually
Code it.
design it.
Code it. You want to code
Yes.
it.
Mm. So
Ah.
that was what I was asking.
All right. All right. That's not an issue. I I have someone I can talk to. He's a front end engineer and he has been working with Figma. So I will let him know that okay, oh, I need him to explain how to convert your Figma design to your front end. But before then, I'll still need you to understand all these things first.
No problem, no problem.
All right.
So after React now, when one enter Angular, I really need the Angular. I not gonna lie for you, for real, for real,
Please. Angular is
for
not my
real.
thing. Angular is not my thing at all. Though Angular is very sweet oh. Angular is very, very sweet. The only thing I can do for you is that I have someone who write Angular. She's very good with Angular, right? And I tell her that okay, I have a student that want to do internship with her. But she will give you project to work on. Oh. So from there now you can now learn. Since you already have idea on React, the- because both of them are JavaScript framework. Do you understand?
Mm,
Angular
mm.
is JavaScript framework. Have you heard of VJS too? VJS, VUE, then .js is a front end framework under JavaScript. Then Next.js too is a front end framework. Okay, Next.js is both front end and back end framework for JavaScript. You get?
Mm.
So that's it. But you still need to understand one framework first before you move to the other one.
So the Angular now you are not teaching it. Even like even like the basics from it okay.
Okay, basics, no problem. It's basic. That's not an issue. But you still need to you need internship on it. Because forget about teaching, no, honestly. Forget about teaching. What will actually like give you more experiences when you are working with people, when you are working with a team. You get?
There's no problem now if I even can see internship about that to strengthen my hand and all that. I don't have a problem with that.
Alright. Alright. That's
But
fine.
maybe we have to maybe so we have to be done with our whole thing back end and front end. Then learning the Angular will not be difficult, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Because if you say you want to carry that Angular along with this, let's just finish everything about all these things first then.
Yeah, let me enter back end too.
Uh, so no problem.
No problem. So after React, what next?
It's back end.
Oh, okay, okay.
Alright now. So
All
wait,
right,
let me stop
I'll go through the
recording.
video again. Mm.